Hello students, in previous video we have discussed about the greenhouse effect, right? In this video, that is of chapter number 16 environmental issue standard 12 biology, we are going to discuss about the topic that is ozone depletion in stratosphere, right? This is also a very big issue which should be discussed. Ozone depletion in stratosphere. Okay students, so when we talk about this ozone, you have already been taught in your previous classes about the two types of ozones, right? When we were small, that was taught to us there are two types of ozone. One is good ozone and another one is bad ozone. Let's see bad ozone. First one, bad ozone layer is present at the lower part of the atmosphere, that is in troposphere, right? Lower part of atmosphere, that is in troposphere, right? Okay, now when we talk about why it is referred as bad ozone, because it causes great harm to plants and animals. So bad ozone causes harm to both animals and plants. Okay, and next one is of good ozone. Now, good ozone is present in the upper part of the atmosphere. Remember this. Good ozone is present at upper part of atmosphere. Now, this good ozone, that is when we talk about the upper part of atmosphere, that is stratosphere. Now students, when we talk about the good ozone, why it is called as good ozone? It is acting as a shield. It is acting as a shield, right? Act as shield for what? For absorbing the harmful UV rays, right? Act as a shield and absorbs harmful UV rays. Now question arises to us, why, how these UV rays are harmful, right? So UV rays are easily absorbed by DNA and proteins. UV rays are absorbed by DNA and proteins. Now in this case, when it is absorbed, due to its high energy, it breaks the chemical bonds. It breaks the chemical bonds, right? And due to this, it damages the DNA as well as proteins. So this is going to cause the mutation, right? This causes the mutation. Now if I want to measure the thickness of the ozone, right? Let's say thickness of ozone from top to bottom is measured by Dobson unit. This is 1 mark question. It is measured by Dobson unit. Thickness of the ozone is measured by Dobson unit from top to the bottom, from bottom to the top of atmosphere. Okay, so this is a 1 mark question from bottom to top. Okay, it is measured in the layers. Now when we talk about the ozone, how it is getting depleted, right? So ozone formation and depletion is constantly occurring, right? It is constantly occurring, right, by action of UV rays. Okay, ozone is continuously formed as well as it is degraded also by the action of UV rays. It is continuously occurring, but this should be in balance. It should be in balance. Now what happens in this case? You are familiar with the gas which is used in refrigerant, that is chlorofluorocarbon, right? Most of all are familiar. CFC used in refrigerant, right? This is released. It moves from bottom to top where good ozone is present, right? Where good ozone is present. So CFC when released, it moves from bottom to the top where good ozone is present, and this good ozone is broken into molecular oxygen. Now see this process, that ozone formation from molecular oxygen and from ozone to again degradation. We can use over here word degradation. So we can say that ozone is continuously formed from molecular oxygen and then again it is degraded into molecular oxygen. Ozone formed from molecular oxygen, again degraded into molecular oxygen. But this process is enhanced. Why? Because at the top, what happens? At the top, when UV rays acts on CFC and CFC's, that is chlorofluorocarbon, releases Cl atoms, right? And Cl atoms causes the degradation, right? Cl atom act as catalyst, and this process is speed up. So good ozone is continuously undergoing the degradation into molecular oxygen because of Cl atom. This process is enhanced. See, when CFC was released, which is used in refrigerants, AC, right, it moves from bottom to the top where good ozone is present. Under the effect of UV, CFC releases Cl atoms which break down the good ozone into molecular oxygen. This is disrupting the balance in the formation as well as in degradation, right? Now this has been observed at each and every place, but more marked in this ozone depletion is more marked in Antarctic. Okay, so this is more marked in Antarctic where the ozone layer has become thin, right? And this thinning of the ozone layer is referred as ozone hole, right? Thinning of thinner ozone referred as ozone hole, right? And it has been more marked in the Antarctica, right? So this is the case of ozone depletion, how it is depleted, how it has been enhanced due to the effect of Cl- or chlorine atoms. Now students, this is the main thing. Now what will be the effect if this depletion occurs? The shield is not working properly, UV radiations are going to create harmful effects. How? Let's see, right? So if we talk about this, right? If the shield is not working properly, that is ozone is becoming thinner, the layer becomes thinner in the stratosphere, then UV rays, right, having shorter wavelength, then UVB are almost absorbed, means still ozone layer is intact, but certain places there is thinning of it, right, almost absorbed, hence ozone is intact, ozone layer is intact. Now students, what about the UVB rays? Those which were having shorter wavelength are absorbed, but what about UVB rays, right? What about UVB rays? Now talking about this, if we say UVB rays are going to cause alteration in DNA. It damages the DNA because it is not getting absorbed and causes mutation. Mutation will be caused, right? This UVB rays can cause aging in skin cells, damage skin cells, right? It damages skin cells, as well as skin cancer is caused. With it also affects the skin, right? Okay, with that is absorbed by the cornea, right? When it is absorbed by the cornea, it causes the inflammation of cornea, right? High dose of UVB rays causes inflammation of cornea, right, which further results in slow blindness as well as cataracts, right? These are the harmful effects of UVB rays. If high dose is given, or it is infecting, or it is going to have an impact on the person, it will definitely cause these things. Now see, these are the effects. Now what can be done? So in 1987 in Canada, Montreal, a treaty was signed, referred as Montreal Treaty. This treaty was to reduce the emission of certain substances which results in or which enhances the ozone depletion, right? So for reduction of substances causing ozone depletion, and this came in act. This treaty was formed in 1987 and act came into effect in 1989. Okay students, so this act was finally proved or came into effect in 1989. Various steps are already taken. In case of developing countries, there are separate roadmaps, even separate rules which has been made. In developed countries also there are separate rules which has been made to control the emission of the ozone depleting substances like chlorofluorocarbon and other substances, right? So this was all about the ozone depletion, right, in the stratosphere and its effects. Thank you.